a lot of buffering, which it already seems like it's extremely slow, I will turn it to data. But
I think I'm going to do this one to data only
hopefully,
just to help.
I never know what causes it to lag, but there you go. Hey Jude, is it working okay, or is it glitchy?
I just shut it
No,
off.
is it glitchy? But I mean, on like a distance, is it glitchy at all? Sawyer went and found that loud toy. He only plays with it when we're live.
It'll only take like one troll to go, "You're glitching," and it'll freak us out.
Yeah. And we'll go
and they'll be like, "Really? Can you hear
screaming
us?
at people to get off the internet.
Like, tick, tick, tick,
Only
tick,
there's
tick,
no one
can you
here.
hear us?"
Hey, let it go, let it go. You like the background?
Yeah.
So, hey, Whiplashed. So, kind of creepy. Like, we have the blue. Hey, Solo Mom. We have the blue. That might be a black light. Is it a black light?
This?
Like, because my nails are white.
Oh, like this could.
If
like,
it was a white.
Oh, look, is it? No, because this would be different.
Okay. Either way,
It's
still
close.
creepy.
Either way.
And then, so it'd be about half a month we would be doing it on that, which is not overkill.
Yeah, I know. It
If
may
it
be
was
coming
like
this year.
a month, then it would be like nothing. But everybody's filing in. Sorry about the loud crinkle toy. I return it to him after the live stream. He doesn't mess with it at all till we go live again.
He's not listening right now.
No, he's not listening.
Not
He's
very
being a
good
shih
about
tzu.
it.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Is I Hate Video Games here? I haven't
Really?
seen I Hate Video Games in here in a long time.
We're about ready
Hey, 50-50.
I suck at video games, it's called.
Yeah.
What is up?
They came in here one time just by chance. We were still at the apartment.
Yeah.
And they liked us. They were like, yeah, you're
from
cool.
Texas. So I suck at video games. If you haven't been following, we now live in Georgia, north of Atlanta. We have our own little triple wide trailer or whatever you want to call it. We'll probably have to end up doxing ourselves before long because that seems to be what people are doing right now.
I'm glad you like the background. It's pretty cool. We got like, it's like super like even down here. You can't see it, but I got like the gothic pumpkins down there. And we've got some stuff over there. I put a picture on Twitter like when I was reminding you guys we were gonna go live.
You should see even the kitchen bar. This gal right here, if you guys watched, have you done the
thing?
Talking like the president.
It's gonna be up tonight. I vlogged.
She vlogged the shed, and in the shed has got, anyway, right now what came out of the shed is literally, you would think this was a Halloween house all the time.
Yeah.
Just all the stuff she's put out.
We told the little one's gonna come pick up a lot of it. Darcy's gonna come get quite a bit of it that I just won't use again. Strobe lights and things like that. But the cutie stuff,
It's that Karen heard what I said. I'm talking like the president. It was like LOL. So I was like,
what'd you say?
I'm talking like the president.
He finds the cutest clips that I guess on Instagram, and it's the thing is what makes it funny is that it's not like sometimes they dub stuff and whatever, but sometimes he's just like, and it's an important and stuff, and that like he legit just says that, like he just.
And my brother is like, well, he has a speech impediment, and I was like, you think? And I try not to. Like, I'm not a dude that makes fun of the president. I just don't. It doesn't matter what party and all that because of my military background. He's the commander-in-chief. But sometimes it's like, what did he say? What's he trying to say?
Last year we got no trick-or-treaters. Really, we didn't. We stayed home.
Yeah, we have more deer than trick-or-treaters.
You like the spooky look, Tracy? I'm glad. It turned out better than I thought it would.
I kind of knew it would look good because it's your touch. But it looks good. I mean, it looks good when it's not on camera, like standing over there and looking over at it. It looked good.
Okay, cool.
And I can take credit for hanging him up.
300 trick-or-treaters. Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Karen, you might as well just sit outside with whatever and just...
Who gets 300, Karen?
Karen said the neighbor said, hey, Levi, get about 300 trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, man, what do they do? Just drop them all
off?
Well,
because we were even going to go to your parents last year and hand out some candy, and they said they don't get any.
No, it's not.
Was it a COVID thing or a
It might be, but
well,
my parents live in a subdivision that's got a lot of older people, and we live out in the boondocks, but there are, neighborhoods that, You know, like,
I bought 2 bags of candy that was $27 each. That's right. Do you know, have you seen, even last year before this, candy is so expensive.
Yep.
One of those mega bags of candy is almost $25, $30.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's like
I'm going to
Stouffer
share
bowls.
this to Twitter. He loves, you know, me and another person were looking at the bowls yesterday. He was obviously a bowl aficionado.
And he was like, damn, they're
They
expensive.
well, no, they only had that one kind. So even his wife was like, I'm just kidding. He goes, no, it's not my favorite kind.
I know.
He's into those Stouffer bowls.
You know, Stouffer bowls. I like the, my favorite one is the barbecue mac and cheese.
Well, and someone else wanted them too.
Yeah, those are very, very good.
Look, I shared it. It's sharing now. It looks like it's on Tomahawk, but it's not. It shares it to mine.
Yeah, but look, there's Stug Life Stewie.
I know, but he's not here yet. Now you got to change back. You only
I only
know
have half a phone here, so.
pretty soon we're gonna get her that first year cover. Belvoir tried to cancel trick or treating. I forgot you were at Belvoir. I knew that, but I guess I forgot. What, I don't want you to dox where you live, but what neighborhood do you live in?
You're gonna have to dox yourself sooner or later.
I mean, just what I can tell you. I mean, I lived on Anadove Way in, I don't even know the name of the village now, but it was Anadove Way. Hey, Suzanne. How about that?
Suzanne.
I can't remember. Say it doesn't matter. It was a lifetime ago.
It wasn't when you were.
Anadove Way. Hey, Justine.
It wasn't when you were sharing complete bliss like you are now.
Exactly.
You all right?
I'm trying to think of what neighborhood it was.
Oh, I was like.
Peterson Loop. Oh, I know Peterson Loop. That's not where we lived, but thank you, Levi. It'll drive me crazy, and it just really doesn't matter. We used to live in Doe Creek. My understanding is that is no longer there.
Doe Creek?
Peterson Loop is, I believe that's Officer. Is that Officer housing, Misty Lee? It's okay. I still like you. Anyway.
She's with an officer now, so.
Thank you. Karen always nicely reminds to share the stream. And thank you for your thumbs up. Y'all are awesome.
How are you?
How are you? I know. The question of the evening. Yes, I was privy to the now deleted stream from last night. I don't even know what to say about it.
It was fairly racy, I hear.
It was lots of skin tugging, slapping, pulling. You know, the whole, look at this, look at me, look at this. So anyway, I didn't want.
Wasn't it like an OnlyFans recruitment tape or something like that?
That's when, as it was shared with me, they said that they think that's primarily what it was. The big takeaway from it is that she's turned her mantle into her bar.
Wow.
A fully stocked bar. Go for you. I mean, he was an E7 promote. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then you're cool again. No, I'm just kidding. So, I mean, we've got his dad's Marine Corps sword and a Bronze Star, but you can turn your mantle into whatever you want. Mm-hmm. I'm not judging.
You can put.
You can put novelties on it.
You can put vodka on it, golden grain, right? Put whatever you want.
But yeah, I got a bunch of DMs say, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" And I was like,
you can even put a spittoon for when you get sick.
Speaking of, I heard that you used to shit all over the toilet, and when she would have to go throw up. When she would have to go throw up, there was shit all over the toilet. How often did she throw up?
When she had to throw up, she put her face right into, a pile of fecal material that was mine, apparently.
Did she throw up a lot? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I mean, I heard the birthmark, the notorious birthmark, which confirmed the beaver shot back in the day. I heard that made an appearance as she flashed everything.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I heard the identifying. Let me tell you something before we move on. You are one piece of work. Woo!
Isn't that right next to the
How do you not have a date?
Is that next to the Canyon of Love?
Boho called it the black hole, but I guess she's not going to call it that anymore.
Well, is Boho still hanging out over there? Even though she got her wrench took?
I heard all the mods were fighting last night while she was like, look at this, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Hadn't washed her hair in a week. And
Let It Go's like she's calling Gabby some wrestler name. Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, I guess it would be my understanding, because like I said, I saw the dirty deleted version. was there, while she was completely showing nips and everything, was there only like 55 people watching and she has 45,000 subs, which means a few people clicked over there and went,
let it go, called it the Grand of Doom. So,
and what that couldn't slip by without me saying something.
That's okay.
You
That's
dirty,
okay.
you dirty nasty whore. Okay.
There it is. And that came at, if you need to mark that, it was at the 10:22.
What does Savage say?
You
nasty
bitch.
fucking hoe. You nasty
bitch.
So gross.
So
and wash your hair.
DC Media Girl thought it was a good idea to dox herself.
Yeah, why did you do that, Clara? You, like your GS level, your house, everything, just because you didn't, go ahead, you didn't want someone else to do it?
That was weird to me. I mean, what were you hiding and what did you think you were divulging? I just don't get it.
She was trying to beat him to the punch because
Well,
they said they have all of her information. So
there was no punch to beat. Now, on one hand, I have always said if you're afraid you're going to get doxxed, just dox yourself.
But the people she thought, I don't even, the people she said were about to dox her, I don't even know who they are. So she doxed herself, and I would have never, most people would have never seen it.
More times than not, when somebody is renting space in someone else's head and they get them freaked out and then they dox information that the 90% would have never had access to or not known.
I have no idea the people she was naming. I don't know who any of those people were.
But I mean, like, what would be, I get it. If somebody finds out where you work or this or that, it can be a pain in the ass. I get that. I mean, someone has doxed my work and not like that I keep it a secret, but I sat there and I tried to figure out what would happen if someone called my work. They'd probably go, okay, great. He told us about all this stuff and that it might happen. I just didn't understand why she did it.
I didn't either. Because I showed him, I said, look, she just put up her GS rank, which she showed it be 110,000. GS 12 in Washington, D.C., 110,000 is not a lot of money. I'm getting my glasses, babe. Hold on.
But do they get like housing allowance? They don't. It's not like Army people.
It is a rate based on your area. Now, I've heard some people will get a GS level like that and start being paid that up there and then move and maintain their thing.
So like if you get like a GS 10 or GS 15 and then you take it back to Georgia with you or something, then you're putting money in the bank.
Even when I worked at the daycare center, I keep wanting to put this in my head. When I worked at the daycare center, it doesn't look good with glasses, but I can't see.
You look good with glasses. What are you?
No, I mean the thing. I worked at the daycare center, and this was in 2009, and I was making $15 an hour, which was a lot for a daycare position. But it was NAF, not GS. So if you moved, you didn't maintain that rate. But GS, you do.
Oh, there it goes.
Is it buffing?
It's not. I got it on data, so it's going to be a little bit slower.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to watch it up there because I don't want to wear the glasses. It takes away from the...
I can hand you this.
Well, that's the problem.
Oh.
It's not. It's
just slow.
But I bet...
As long as we're not...
No, I mean...
There it goes.
Did it catch up? Did anybody say it's buffering?
Nope. Buffering.
But maybe just people aren't talking because
because
I don't think a lot of people really understand who DC Media is. But the bigger issue is if you don't, she was afraid these people were going to dox in this small community. Nobody would have even seen them do it. I don't follow them. A lot of people I know don't follow them. Oh, we're good. Let it go say we're good. Why do you keep going back and forth?
I was trying to put it on a live chat.
I think you have to...
I think we're good, though.
We're good. So this is our Halloween setup.
Yes.
I'm wondering, are people still, have y'all been invited to any Halloween parties? Or do you think it's dependent on the day of the week that Halloween falls on?
Monday is a tough time. Like, the Halloween parties will probably be, like, Friday the 28th.
But I bet there's some people in here that every year go to not everybody, but has a certain place that they go to every year for Halloween. Either their favorite hangout or a person or something like that.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
People that are way cooler than us. I really don't think. Will someone say something? I hate it when we. I don't want to beg people to type in the chat because that's like that's trifling.
Watch, I'm going to type into it.
I'm worried that it's real delayed.
Not too bad.
No, they're like y'all just aren't interesting. Hey, Pink Life, how are you?
There is Pink Life.
There are so many pink somethings in everybody's chats.
Hey, let it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, Jude, you're right. Monday is a tough day to have Halloween. I don't remember. I guess with leap year and all that, it would have been like 8 years ago, where the last time we had a Monday Halloween. You have a span of look.
Good job, Scout.
You have a span of 3 years where you have it on a weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
And that's when you have them most of the time.
Like this year, Christmas and New Year's is on Sundays.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, last year when they were on Saturdays, those were my day off anyway, so I didn't get any like extra days off because Saturdays was my day off. So this time it might work out.
Because now you have no days off.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you how'd that go with telling your work. Let me tell you. Not only did they rip up my resignation right in front of me, they said, if you ever try, you're going to work both days this weekend.
And he went, okay.
And if you have anything more to say, you'll not see a day off until the next year. Get your ass back to work.
And he goes, all right. I guess that's how that works.
I'm sorry.
No.
It'll never happen
They
again.
just really, he's, Sean, I mean, people, for all of the Hope Law, every place he goes, he's not only useful, he becomes vital. And he's pretty fantastic to work with. And that, I hear that from his coworkers. He always has to work holidays, but we don't mind because it's triple time. Oh, hell yeah. If it was
mine's
triple
only
time,
like time and a half.
Auctioned off for homemade. I heard something about homemade crosses for $500. Katie auctioned off her homemade crosses. She made almost $500 on the floor.
Damn. Hey, what about, we could make like angels out of shells.
Those ugly ass things. The person who just talked to, I used to do goodie bags. We have a lot of those in there. I used to do full on.
That was Whiplash. The person who just talked Whiplash, go ahead.
I used to do full on goodie bags where I would put like 3 pieces of candy and like the plastic vampire teeth or whatever and tie it up. That's cool that you do that too. Let It Go likes it when you do those one punchers.
I'm sorry, I should do that.
She like
nasty bitch.
Who's a nasty bitch?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, well, let's not go back to that because then I got to keep going again.
No, I just have a
I
Monster
got way
energy,
more to say about it.
Monster Energy drink running through me.
You are nasty.
So, yes. So they give me. I work a lot. But just thanks, Sean. I know, right? It's like that would be.
You always know when I've got other things on my mind because.
Or you can't see the chat.
That's exact. I can see the words. I couldn't see the. Oh my gosh.
So what was I saying?
You don't even know. You're gonna have to come up with a whole different.
I know.
A whole different train of thought.
What episode of Yellowstone are we on?
I used to get 300 pink before COVID. In the past 2 years, I've had a handful. Hoping this year is more active. I love handing stuff out at Halloween.
And I think the paradigm is shifting. Like in another 20 years, it's not going to be a thing, and we're going to be old, and some of our kids are going to be, like. Don't you remember when people used to walk around and get candy on Halloween?
They'll be like, what?
And the kids that are growing up are like,
hey, Logan.
Then we'll be like, they did? That sounds cool.
Last year, they even had little packages of milk bones, which was cool. People bringing their dogs, but it just, again, people weren't trick-or-treating. How many people here...
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, she's a little bit better. I know. She needs to move on. Like I said, if she's got the Garden of Eden going on down there, she doesn't need to be on the line. You go take your fruits.
It's Gollum's cave.
To the masses.
Take your fruit to the masses.
Take your forbidden fruit to the masses. Get you some.
So I was talking to a lady today. We were fixing her stuff up, and she was talking about living. She lives in Dawsonville now, but she lived at the beach. She lived in South Carolina. And we were having an interesting conversation about the differences between like living here in Dawsonville and the pros and cons and living at the beach. We both agreed.
The beach is better?
The beach is good. It's good when it's good, but when it's bad, it's awful. Like when there's weather's bad and you got to literally leave.
Yeah.
You know, that, it's
What
really
made
good.
You or y'all or whatever, it doesn't matter that it was the two of you, moved to the beach.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, in Rhode Island, it's the beach. Rhode Island is a small state and there's a beach.
Okay.
And one of the things we did agree on, I always said, even before I knew her, like we would go to Long Beach, which is now Oak Island in North Carolina. And I said, I used to love it. We used to go to Kiowa Island in South Carolina and Seabrook Island and all these little places. And I always said, when I get done in the military, I'm going to go retire to the beach. I had always said that. So it was kind of a mutual thing. And she was like, I need to be around a beach, even though people don't think of New England as beachy, but it is. Mm-hmm. It's just like the South is warmer.
And also, you looked at medical military facilities.
And
that was
you can take.
I had to get something to drink.
You can take your retirement and move to the beach in North Carolina. Probably, and your buck probably goes further than anywhere else. You know, my condo was $1,100 a month for everything, all expenses paid, and all that.
Pretty normal price.
No, it was a good price. It was a pretty good price. So if y'all can imagine, living at the beach in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and you pay in $1,100, and that pays your electric bill. It paid for everything except for like the phone service. It paid for the internet. The bad thing is you couldn't like get your own cable package. You had to have the cable package that was hooked into the condo. So you couldn't buy like Major League Baseball extra innings and all that. But for $1,100 a month, it was a great deal.
Yeah, that sucks that one got lost.
Well, he said that basically what he was asking us for was his homeowner's dues plus $500.
Really, that was it?
That's it.
Did he own it outright?
He owned the condo that he rented to us, and the plan was to buy it. But then, when you live in something like, if we were going to buy this place and you find out what you need to fix up and what you don't, like this one is pretty much in pretty good shape. I mean, we got the floor over there and a couple of things. After about a year in the condo, there was literally thousands of dollars worth of stuff that it was fine to rent and live in for the beach. But if you were going to buy it, you would want a bunch of stuff fixed up.
Yeah.
And one of them was the air conditioning was completely rusty.
But it worked?
It worked the first year and then it broke.
That's interesting. I didn't know that there was an air conditioner.
It was a great deal, Karen. People didn't believe it when I said I paid $1,100 a month for, a 2-bedroom beachfront.
I would love to live there.
Yeah, it was.
I was never really allowed, with the whole Halloween thing. I did our Save Our Seed Festival at church. We still got candy. I was looking at Logan's Whiplash. We have a trick or treat at our high school. The clubs and teams set up booths and dress up for kids to trick. I think that's kind of what's happening now. Different organizations are kind of taking over the door-to-door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just people aren't doing it anymore.
Which
is sad.
Or they dress the little kids up and have them solicit when you're going into like grocery stores and stuff. They're hanging out. That kid was cute as a button last night. The little Cub Scout.
We were going into Kroger's. It was a Boy Scout. And
a Cub Scout.
He
was little.
Was he a Cub Scout?
He was a Cub Scout.
He was probably, what would you guess, 5, 6 maybe?
6 years old.
And he comes up and he goes, "Do you want to buy some popcorn or give us some money?" And I was like, and I couldn't hear him because the people were speeding by. So I leaned over and I said, "What is it?" And he said, whatever. We take cards.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I don't have any cash." I was like, "I don't have any cash, bud." And he goes, "We take cards."
And I said,
I was like, "Oh my God."
I said, "Maybe when we come back out." He goes, "We close at 8. And I said, "What time is it?" And Sean was like, "It's right before 8. And he went on to someone else. He was cute.
Yeah, when I was a kid and we would go trick-or-treating, we were kind of allowed. That was like even when it was in the middle of the week, we were sort of allowed to stay out till like 8.
Hey,
it was kind of okay to do it. And the night went by fast. But I remember like it'd be 8:30, and there'd be people all over the street, and then all of a sudden it'd be empty.
It'd be empty. Yeah.
Yep. So
Presley's true.
Presley.
Not even to be funny, I did peel a cutie.
Presley, my Braves got knocked out.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yes. My Braves are out of the playoffs.
He took it like a champ.
So now I have to cheer for the Padres. Because I don't like the Dodgers and I don't like the Phillies worse.
Oh my gosh. Hey Draft Horse, I want a condo in the Four Seasons at Orange Beach, Alabama. But it's $1.2 million, a little too high for me right now. But you know what? Put it on your vision board.
That's right.
Put it on your vision board.
Kind of, what do you call it? You know, brainstorm it. Mm-hmm. You know, you brainstorm it.
Get some magazines and cut out like pictures of stuff that you like
but
we did when we were 12.
But it's $5 million. It's okay if you can maybe make little crosses and sell them.
So I lived during that time also, you guys, but my mom would never let me eat it.
Okay, Suzanne, we're gonna have to block her. She's a Phillies fan.
He's totally kidding.
I'm kidding.
Hello, let it go. Oh, I didn't know I've been with my family mother-in-law going back to Arizona. She's going back today, Presley. How are the ribs and the husband?
I'm kidding, Suzanne.
He's totally kidding. Yeah. Although he did have some choice words for them when they were doing the chop too.
Yeah, they were making fun of the Braves. They were doing the chant. I was like, that's Philly for you though.
He had some choice words.
Yes.
Monday. Okay. From Nerds to Hershey's. So my kids always had a mission, especially my son. Tanner would lay out his route. And we're talking, he was probably a teenager, early teen years. He's still doing it. And he would lay it out, and he would have his pillowcase or his sack or whatever. And he would decide where he was going to hit first, how many places he could get to. And then if he could go back again. And if
he could go back again.
If he could get away with getting by it again.
You change costumes real quick? Or?
I know the funny thing about saying officer housing, he always started the officer's loop. The commander's loop was where he started. Mm-hmm. And I
bet you that the commander's loop was packed. I mean, I lived like where the lieutenants lived, and there's a lot of traffic there too. Mm-hmm. The commander's loop's got to be like...
He started there, but then he did. Then he made his way down. Loop. Then he made his way down to... I'm trying to put on live chat because it doesn't work. And then he would make his way through...
Let me fix this for you.
Just the rest of officer housing, then senior enlisted housing, and then, he'd be back home or whatever. And I can honestly say sometimes he would have to dump his candy and go back out because he would fill up a king-size pillowcase.
That's a trooper, though.
That's a military post for you. And then he would make himself sick on it. My little brother and I were serious trick-or-treaters. We were in a mission. We'd fill up a case and go, you see? Yes.
Yep.
Jinx, Karen, that was his goal. And when you think about it, that can last you a good long time. So I've heard of parents who would take some of their kids' trick-or-treat candy and save it for their stockings. I have two grown children, a girl and a boy. He had it down to a science. Have y'all, I know y'all seen it. Who was the one that used to say that they ate the kids' candy?
A YouTuber did it?
No. It was a late night talk show. Who was it? Y'all know. I think it was, and they would have people film telling their kids they ate all their candy and the kids' reactions. And most of the time, the kids would be pissed and cry. But sometimes the kids would go, Jimmy Kimmel, sometimes the kids would go, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Aww. And that was like the ones that the parents were like, but they would be like, I ate it all. And there would be some where they'd have to bleep it. He's like, you ate every lot. Well, you're going to be sick. And like these little kids doing it. Then they had to quit doing it because they said it was emotionally wounding children.
Yeah,
you had to restart your phone altogether.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it so that it'll turn so we can put it on live chat.
I think you have your rotation locked.
Well, that's why I turned it off.
Anybody want a phone that doesn't work?
My God, man.
We have to send it back.
So like I'm typing away and then this like the right side doesn't work, so I've got to turn my phone like this to type.
It's very frustrating.
When I'm sexting my wife in the middle of the day. And I have a very creative thoughts in my mind, and I want to like really turn her on, but I can't type. Sucks.
Which would be funny if it doesn't have a tinge of truth to it.
Well, there we go. Hold on. I think I got it.
Uh-oh.
We'll see here in a minute, guys.
See if you got it. My favorite part of Halloween is that when you start putting it away, it's Christmas decorating time. I got a rooster ornament today because I'm making Tiny a stocking. I'm making a stocking for all of our chickens. They all have names. I'm making a stocking for all of our chickens, like little bitty ones. You know those you get 4 for 98 cents. But I got a bigger one for Tiny, and I went to Hobby Lobby and got a rooster ornament because I'm going to hot glue that on it for his. There you go.
I got it.
And if Tiny would do us the pleasure of both staying on our property and living, he will have his own stocking.
There it is.
Is it working now?
It's working now.
Is all right with the world?
It's on live chat. Costco has a ton of Christmas. Yeah, they do.
Do they really? Well, Walmart does too. You know how I showed you that chicken wrapping paper we're going to use? I wanted to get like those, the mini tree ornaments. They sell them to go on because people do like mini desktop trees and you can buy packs of like little bitty ones. I wanted some chicken ones.
Tiny ones, right? Yeah.
I wanted it so when I wrap it, because I'm all about good gift wrapping. When I wrap it, I want to tie one of those little chicken ornaments on the present.
That'd be cool.
But they didn't have
Somebody showed me wrapping paper and it was Trump. And he's like, the wrapping paper is like, this is the... And he's saying it. He's like, thing that says, this is the best wrapping paper. Everybody agrees. It's great wrapping paper.
The wrapping paper talks?
No, but it's like,
it's like
him sitting there and it's like a big bubble.
How funny.
But I got to tell the people about the accident that I saw today. And it literally stopped all traffic in downtown Dawsonville.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what it looked like, how it happened.
Okay, so
we can get to that.
You know when you're leaving Walmart, and you're heading out to that little side street and you're passing a little turn in to go right there at that where the car came out from Arby's and ran. Okay, so we're sitting there as a big long line. So the car in front of me was waving the car that was turning and telling it to come on.
So dangerous.
And he said, come on, come on, come on. So she was coming across and a guy came flying from behind me into the turn lane and she came out and he creamed her.
So dangerous.
And so
I've seen that happen many times.
It's probably the worst possible place to have an accident because it's this little intersection that's in the middle of a shopping plaza and it just backs the traffic up out to the 4 different intersections. It backs it up and then you're going nowhere in Dawsonville. So when it happened, I right away when the accident happened, I was like, oh, this is gonna,
was everybody okay?
Everybody was okay. They weren't going super fast, but it just was gonna stop everything right at that part of the street.
Wow.
So the guy that waved her on, she hit, he pieced out right away because he knew he waved her into the accident.
But he doesn't, legally he has no fault, but I guess he felt
he pieced out. He didn't even check on him. And then I was the next car up and I was like, is everyone okay? And they're like, yeah. So I got to go back to work. So I went.
When my mom was leaving work, probably in 88, 87, something like that, that happened outside her work. She used to work at the school district administration building, and something just like that happened.
You showed me that building, I think.
Yeah, and it T-boned the person. It was someone saying like this. They didn't see it killed the person, killed the driver. Yeah, it's
the one that got T-boned?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and but I've seen it. Even old boy was in an accident like that when I wanted to sue, but there was no injuries or anything. My ex-husband was like, "No, we're getting an attorney. And we're gonna." Yeah. It was a really bad idea. Hatched from the mind of an addict.
You're either an addict or you've got something wrong with everything you do in life is about suing somebody and getting a buck from them.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was when my entire thought process was very skewed. And we did meet with an attorney and the attorney was like, okay, well,
you're an addict, number one.
You could, they were like, we can get you paid back for the days you missed work. And he was like, I mean, yeah, they were already paid. Well, your insurance? He's like, I have TRICARE. And they were like,
what are you trying to get out of this?
Yeah. And he goes, we can, it's just, I don't know what. And I was like, okay. So we just kind of gave
I mean, like depending on how much money you have, you can sit with an attorney like, you know, and they'll talk to you, but really that attorney, and if you got attorneys in here, I'm sorry, but I have attorneys in my family, and one of my uncles is the judges.
You used to keep one on retainer.
Yeah, I used to keep an attorney on retainer in North Carolina. Really, it's about when an attorney takes those type of cases, it's what can they make.
Yeah, and if they can't,
it's really not. It's not a it's not an altruistic thing where they're in a job where they can protect you or protect your rights or do something for you. In a case like that, where Mandi was just looking to get a buck or whatever, they'll look at that case and go, sure, I can probably sue for $10,000 and he'll take his $4,000.
Yeah.
So that's what they look at.
It wasn't even my accident, it was my husband.
Yeah,
I was like, the Let It Go's laughing. She catches all your little puns. You know, I kept one on retainer.
Yeah, I mean,
so someone was talking about that this year they'll have their Christmas tree up for 10 years. Jude says, my Christmas tree has been up for 10 years this year. The person that I just got done working for had a Christmas room.
Our whole room.
Magnificent Christmas tree
room.
full of ornaments, vintage ornaments. And she'd had it up for probably about that long. One year she just decided not to take it down, and then the whole room turned into this. And it's very like, if this isn't really a word, but nutcracker-esque.
Really?
Yeah, from the picture you saw.
Well, the Nutcracker is very kind of upscale type of Christmas carol.
Like,
it wasn't
very nostalgic, Christmassy, big hearth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that kind of thing. So, but she didn't even want to turn it on at Christmas. She has some issues. Let It Go caught she catches all of it.
Whiplash said, altruistic attorneys in cardboard boxes. Look, and I always find it odd, when somebody will rebut something that I'm saying, like you see it on Twitter. It's like, Tomahawk Sean, he thinks he knows so much about, I don't. I don't think I know, but I know more than the other person does about these attorneys. Is because I was always around an attorney always paying an attorney for something and always being in court. It's like, they're like, what makes you so smart? I'm not. I'm pretty dumb, actually, because I always have to have an attorney on retainer. It's not. Anyway. And
there's so many differing precedents that the law is pretty black and white, but then in some areas it's not.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't say that categorically this qualifies as cyber harassment or whatever, and that's the only it's up to the interpretation of the judge to an extent.
Yeah. But I mean, the YouTube attorneys that are out here, my Pink Life was talking about her they have to step away from the nutcrackers. But you have it. There's always somebody that's about to sue somebody, and it's like,
aww,
it's not gonna work. It won't work.
No, dude, she didn't even want it lit at Christmas. She had, some seasonal stuff going on, and she had quit lighting it.
What part of the year
tried
did
to
she
light
lose
it.
him? What part of the year did he pass away?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to light it, get it in all of her decorations and stuff like that, and she looked at it, she goes, oh, and she was like, no, turn it off. And so that was it. And but it's beautiful. But that's neat that you turn yours on and let it light it for the day. That would make me smile. Those are the kind of things that make you smile, She had a bunch of nutcrackers too. She had 2 standing.
Hi, Louisa.
Pug nutcrackers, and
or is it Lucia? Is it Louisa or is it Lucia?
I didn't see it. Sean,
Louisa,
what were you?
Louisa. I was in the Nutcracker.
Yeah, but what part did you play?
I played the Nutcracker that when it comes to life.
Louisa.
And you had to, so when the Nutcracker in the play, you got the Nutcracker, and that was kind of a short dude that played, that part. But then when he fought the Rat King, there's a tall, like the Nutcracker comes to life. I played that. That was my only role. I was the Nutcracker only in the fight scene.
That's kind of cool though.
Because I know how to kick ass and all that.
And you wore tights?
I wore tights. It was a very...
There's no pictures of it.
There wasn't any. There's a very troubling time in my life because I was wearing like purple or blue tights.
But how many?
And I liked it. And so then I was just kind of like.
That goes to show you, though, confidence-wise.
Yeah.
Like that you were like, yeah, I'll do that. That doesn't mean anything. I'll do that.
Well,
are you joking about liking the tights and continuing to wear them?
Well, I mean,
hair metal wore tight stuff.
That's the whole thing, man. You know, if you like hair metal and you look at, you know, you have hairspray going on and, you know, like I used to wear parachute pants and I used to have like leopard skin bandanas around my neck. And then, you know, that was a phase.
And the thing was he was fantastically the coolest cousin. Everybody just thought he was
kind of the oldest cousin.
A rebel cousin.
But because I was older than everybody too.
Presley wears tights. There's nothing wrong. I like tights. I like anything that shapes me from about my mid-thigh to just under my breast. Anything that holds it like that.
I like when you take it off.
I always joke like, I have like tons of Spanx and girdles and things like that. And
she said Spanx.
One time I was starting a new job. This was not too long after I got sober, and it was what I normally do, care management. And I wore like a girdle because I wanted to look good the first day. It hurt my insides
really
so bad. I thought it was going to do permanent damage. I'm not even kidding. When I took it off, it was just still excruciating pain. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And I remember looking at the girdle when I took it off, and I was like, well, buddy, you did the best you could.
Yeah. You held it together
you
for
did
as long
the best
as you could. So we just bought pairs of work pants for me, and they're 40s. And so one's a pair of Carhartts and one's a pair of like Ridge Fits.
That manly bulge.
And
It goes a little bit of a freaky deep.
Is she?
She said that before. She said it's about that bulge.
Full for tights, guys in tights.
Presley says, Sean, you frisky devil, you.
So I get these pair of pants, and I'm definitely like a 39 waist because a 38 is too tight, and a 40 I got to wear a belt, and if I don't, it falls down. Yeah. I mean, when you're in between sizes and you really can't get something to fit right. These are pretty baggy though. And the thing is, like the first time we bought them, I think we said this, it was a 38. They didn't fit, but Sean is notorious for ripping off every last tag before he even puts it on. So that went to Goodwill. As is, someone got themselves $45 pair of pants. Right. Nice, like
someone lucked out. So then this next one he tried on, and he's like, yeah, they fit. And I was like, okay, are you sure? And he said, yeah, and they do fit. But they stretch a little bit, and they're droopy drawers now.
Well, you can't see my ass. It's like baggy in the back. That's what you said,
and I like to see your ass.
I see.
But those other pants, they don't sell anymore at Walmart. Those Wrangler.
Yeah, I'm down. I had 4 pairs of those at one point, and I'm down to 2. And see, those could be 36, 34s. Those were 36s because they've got the stretchy waist.
But the 34 length is impossible to find.
I know.
And they never get any in at Walmart. And I'm not like dry begging or e-begging. They really don't exist. I've looked up the UPC. I've looked up like on their web. It appears that whatever they have left on hand is what they have left on
Those are the ones at Walmart. They're made by Wrangler, and they're kind of like stretchy around the waist, and they have like zippers on stuff like that.
My first pizza, her pizza's there.
My first, year and a half, I lived in those. And like I said, I had 4 pairs. I had a black pair, a green pair, and then I had 2 of the khaki pairs, and I'm down to the 2 khaki pairs.
Kohl's is a good idea.
So
try LL
Kohl's would be good. Yeah.
They're supposed to be either black or khaki, correct?
And you know what else would be good? Like Marshalls, probably, to try. Just either they have it or they don't. But if they do have it,
yeah, that's true.
You luck out.
But I do like the way those ones fit.
I like the Carhartts. I'll spend the extra money because, I'm...
Levi's and Converse, very hip. I like it.
Like outside in the chicken coop in the winter, they'll be perfect too, It's getting colder.
You didn't put that brooder
I didn't put it out. It's nice out tonight.
I posted the thing that Love is in the Air with our silkies and the deer. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. There's like a cat hair dangling. Do you think that they were fighting, or were they trying to...
we were lucky to get the camera on it when it happened.
Tiny settled it.
I think Tiny
was like, whoa,
regardless of what it is. It's up now.
It's up on this channel. It was kind of funny. I wondered if Tiny wasn't going to get involved.
I mean, he got involved, not in a
bad way.
No, he did. He got involved, but not in like a normal way. He puffed out, you know, like when roosters get pissed off. I think the white one.
Yeah. He's like, nobody's getting lucky here. I don't want any. But I do think that the Silkies they are doing it. Because if we saw that, that means they're doing it.
It's like a courting thing.
That means they're doing it when we don't see
Tiny was like, hey.
And the white one's been hanging out today, was hanging out in the coop. So I wonder if she's not about to lay an egg.
I thought when I went out there was the black one that was in the coop and the white one was out.
You think they were playing, but Tiny didn't know how to deal with them. That might be the truth.
Yeah.
But if they do lay an egg, especially if it's one of the Silkies, which they're a little bit smaller, right?
Yeah.
Their eggs, then we're gonna put it in an incubator because you said you don't think this time of year that they're gonna do enough to sit on it.
I just think it gets too cold and it won't start to like. I mean, when it starts to get cold, the chicken has to sit on the egg like almost constantly.
Yeah, that's a problem.
When it's so cold. But if we can start with like incubators are anywhere from like 50 to 150. I had a cheap I guess it was 50 when it was new, and someone gave it to me, and all it was this. It looked like a little heat lamp, you know, and you put it in, and you had these little buttons, and you're supposed to keep it at a certain temperature. Now, all this was when you turn the buttons like almost like a stove. It really didn't have a temperature that, you know, was like an old-timey little thermostat in there, but it hatched egg. Twice it hatched an egg.
Well, but you can technically do it. It has to be a certain humidity and all of that, right?
Yeah. Well, the ones they have now, because we get people that order eggs through the mail, and they'll literally have this big box with all this, you know, with all the protection, and they'll have like 50 eggs in there. And, you know, the incubators they have now, and they're not expensive as they used to be, you put them in there, and they'll turn the egg for you. And keep the hot air blowing through it.
That's the one I wanted to get.
And that one's the one. That one's about $150.
Okay.
You know, that's.
I was gonna pin I think they were playing, but Tiny didn't know how to deal with him, so he told him to stop. I was trying to pin that.
The thing that was like, let's say Tiny's trying to bully them away from food or do whatever, or just be a rooster because he's bigger. He just goes in there and nips. But if you notice in that video, he fluffed his neck out like he was fighting. If you ever seen a video with roosters that fight, their necks are the feathers are all fluffed out. That's what he did when he went after him. So he was definitely pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, at them for whatever they were doing.
But it was cute. I mean, at first they were kind of nuzzling, and then they got more and more. And I think he was like, I've been in blue jean, t-shirt, hoodies, and wore Converse tennis shoes for work, but I have to dress. You got to dress up for work. Mm-hmm. So that was another thing. Remember when they used to sell legs pantyhose at the grocery store with the little egg top? Back in the day, that was something they sold at the store because women, that was a main thing. And I remember my mom when she needed her queen size black pantyhose.
They were different sizes.
Albertsons, you would grab them. You didn't go buy expensive, fancy ones or anything.
That's definitely Texas. I mean, Albertsons owns things,
yeah,
but they're called Albertsons in Texas.
Do y'all remember a Skaggs Alpha Beta? You said you didn't have those here. We had it before it became Albertsons. It was Skaggs Alpha Beta, and that's where I remember. I would know because my mom would say, "Help me find the queen size suntan."
Oh, yes.
Yes. And then I remember the first time I got a pair of pantyhose because I was going to do something like at a Christmas thing or something. And I was like, and she was trying to guess which size because I was young. It was pretty cool. Remember that?
I remember little egg things. And see, that's basically what it was like when you were in plays and stuff. They would kind of task you.
Hey, Nelson.
Like they would have the costume for you, but you had to buy the undergarments.
Yeah.
You know, so
they remember. See, Karen says I'm dating myself, but I used to buy those. Nobody went bare leg. No, and that's why when we were going to go to that wedding, I asked. Actually, it was Gabby. I said, "So we're going to a wedding. I still have a tan from the summer. Do I have to wear pantyhose since it's a wedding or no?" And she was like, "I wouldn't think so." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Is that still a thing where like if you go to a wedding you have to wear them?" And so I was like, it was this big indecision about whether or not to wear them or not. But my understanding is that pantyhose are out.
Really?
If you don't want to wear them, don't wear them. That's what
you
I've
don't
heard.
see them. I mean, sometimes and every once in a while, like I'm not a very
that neat?
judgmental dude, but you see people walking around, and sometimes you're like, well, they're not covering, and it's not that it doesn't matter if you cover your legs or not, but like old women.
My grandmother in the old folks home till the day she died put her little disposable stockings that went
but I'm
up
saying
to
they
the
don't wear anything now. They just they're out there, and I guess it's the South and it's warm out.
Yeah.
And
that's just it. It was. I remember when we would go visit her, even on the weekend, and my grandmother was retired. This is my dad's mom, and sat by the time she'd be in her robe and cooking breakfast for us. Then she would say, okay, I need to get dressed. And she'd go to her room and she would take her shower. And of course, she didn't wash her hair because she went to the beauty salon once a week to do that.
Wow.
But she would put her stockings on, her slacks like pants, and a blouse, and she was ready for the day. And she did that every day of her life. It didn't matter whether she was going anywhere or not. That's what she did. And until she had to go to memory care because her faculties were completely gone, she did it every day in the nursing home.
I will say that
no jeans. Never saw her ever wear a pair of jeans. Never.
Being, having a military career and a lot of my career outside.
Hey, Nelson.
And serving in places like Kansas in the winter, Germany in the winter, it got cold. And I did this by accident and then realized that like I would put like thermals on underneath. And sometimes you don't have like the thermal underwear or, the Army kind. So you get the stuff that you see athletes wear underneath, and they're just like, they're almost like tights.
Dry wick kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I used to buy those, and I would wear those underneath my, my BDUs if I was outside. And people were like amazed that I was out doing whatever, and I just had the uniform on. I didn't have like a jacket on and stuff. I just was out in my uniform. It's because I had those on. And they have them for the top, too.
Yeah. That is, never see my mom or dad in a pair of jeans. Never. I think I saw my grandfather. They used to take me on summer vacations sometimes, and that's when I went to Graceland. They took me there. We went to New Orleans. I was young, so there was no, like, wild partying. But, and then touring plantations in the South. And that was the first, when we were on vacation, that's the only time I saw my grandfather, instead of his nice pants, put on a pair of jeans.
And
isn't that crazy?
And Suzanne Nicole, she's got a conundrum because she hates pantyhose, but her husband thinks pantyhose are sexy.
I think the ones with the lines up the back are. The ones like, they are. Some of them, like, I used to have the ones that, I think now it's become more of a novelty to wear them. People only wear them with lingerie. Or a fashion statement,
like if they're like fishnet or for certain things. Karen says, Jude, she's talking to Jude, I'm a new gardener. It's my first year and I'm hooked. And she's pretty good at it too. If by the pictures and this, what she's grown.
You're talking about Karen?
Yeah,
or Jude?
Karen.
Yeah.
Karen is.
She was feeding.
She said she's for her first year. It's a pretty good first year.
She fed dehydrated cilantro stems to her chickens yesterday.
Of course you did, Karen.
So
of course you did.
We're gonna need to figure out how to do that because if your chickens have it, our chickens need it.
Don't let my chickens find out what's going on over there in Karen's house.
Our chickens meet every morning and say, "Don't lay any eggs.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lay them, go out in the woods."
But we didn't do the garden. I do want a greenhouse.
Yes, I loved it, Karen.
I do want a greenhouse, but we just don't have like a lot of extra space. But Mandi did, you guys saw it. She did put the flower arrangements outside the chicken coop, and then the deer ate it. Did
you see Karen's video? I sent you the link to it.
I have to watch it.
It's an unlisted link.
But I have it.
I sent it to him.
Through text. He's texted it to me.
I'm going to have to send it again because he didn't watch them at work, and then it gets lost in the things. I should have sent it to him after he got. Watch it tonight.
I'll be at work or whatever. I'll be out, doing whatever, and they're coming across, and I don't have time. And then
unless they're erotic, and then he pays attention to that.
If she says I'm cooking,
no. I gotta stop him before because he'll just say it.
They haven't demonetized us yet, so
he's gonna make.
No.
I know exactly which one you were gonna say, and I was like, don't say it.
No. But remember you said I'm cooking and then I asked you a question?
Yeah, see?
That's what you, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I do remember
Oh, that what you're talking about? We're talking about the same
Either
thing?
or.
That's cool.
Get a pumpkin, cut 2 small holes, and they love them. Really? And the chickens do?
You cut 2 small holes, like so they can get the insides?
Betty, thank you.
There you go.
That is a good idea. Let me see.
They're probably out there going, hey, you know, I'm not the
Bell bottoms came back in for a bit.
I'm not the oldest or wisest chicken in the world, but aren't we supposed to be eating pumpkins and stuff at this time of year? You know?
The thing is I love corduroys. Levi's, and they're hard to find. If I can find a pair of Levi's khaki colored corduroy boot cut jeans. Are they called jeans?
She described like 6 things.
But it's all one thing.
It's all one thing.
You have to pretty much only find them on eBay because, you know, but those are my absolute favorite. You can dress them up or dress them down. Hang them so they can get to them. How cool is that? Thank you, Betty.
Cool.
Oh, a head of cabbage for
and hang them up so they can get to them. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go get a little pumpkin, like a little one. Little ones are like full-size pumpkins or whatever. What? I mean...
Probably I would imagine
But you said put holes in it, right?
Like two bowling ball holes, I think.
Yes, probably so they can get their beaks in there because they're probably not going to mess with the outside of it too
You might
easily.
have to do that.
Heck yeah. Did we feed them the corn?
Full size. Okay.
What about that little bag of corn? Did they get that?
I threw it away. You let it sit out all night.
So the chickens would still eat it?
You know me. If it's out,
Yeah,
it goes in the trash can.
I was on the verge of accusing her of throwing out some cheese dip until she found it.
You know, like the little can of cheese dip, he eats them with Fritos. Speaking of Halloween costumes, one year I had a big piece of gray fabric, so I cut 2 eyes and a mouth and went as Washington Sky, and I won prizes.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Whiplashed. My daughter's 15 and dresses like I did in high school. It's funny how fashion cycles. Absolutely. Like, it's things like the high-waisted jeans, high-rise jeans like the 80s. They've come back. I didn't like them then. I don't like them now.
I wonder if parachute pants will ever come back.
It could. You're all over it?
2 things when we were growing up in the 80s.
Like Adidas parachute pants?
I'll show you a pair. They almost look like
wind pants.
They almost look like my work pants, my Wranglers, but they're baggy like that. You know that they're just.
Oh, and then they have like
zippers and stuff.
They balloon a little bit.
Sort of, yeah, and they're fabricy looking. Like they almost look like paper sweats or something like that. But I had those, and so everybody had, and you know nobody had like 4 pairs of them. Everyone had one. You know, you'd go out and you'd buy your parachute pants. Because first of all, I think our parents were like, what? Okay, if you want one, I'll get you one. And so mine were like gray. So they were worn on like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and different tops and stuff. Because that's how we were back then.
Seersucker high-waisted bell bottoms. I was hot.
And a leather jacket.
Wow.
And a leather jacket. That was kind of like athletes, we had a leather jacket, you know. Like I played basketball, so I had the leather jacket.
Where's yours?
I don't have it anymore.
You had it though at one time?
I don't think I had it at all with her. I think it went away sometime.
Just got lost somewhere along.
Yeah.
Because God knows she'd be wearing it on a live stream.
Oh my God.
I gave my chicken popcorn on Friday. Okay, we have done popcorn. They did like it. Okay.
They did like it. And we've done corn. Like it was corn on the cob, and the 2 extra corns on the cob, you know, didn't get eaten. So I cut the corn off into 2 bowls, and they like that too. It even got Tiny out of bed.
Jude says, when clients come ask me to get rid of their pumpkins after Halloween, I cut them in half and hide them in the landscape for the squirrels. I've heard that. You can throw, when you're done with your jack-o'-lanterns or whatever, you can throw them into the woods. Watermelons too, the rinds.
For what? Just for anything, right?
For squirrels to eat or whoever finds it.
That's...
Cage dresses. I don't know what cage dresses are.
Cage dresses.
That sounds kinky.
Like a cage?
Let it go. What's a cage dress?
Cage dress?
We're relying on you to let know what it...
Let us know how to get them on and off.
I don't remember that, Jude. Were they just straps? See? Let it go comes in with the straps. They were hideous, but of course I had one. A cage dress.
And leather jackets. Now, leather jackets over the year just became this trendy things, and you'd see people with. But back in the 80s, you had a leather jacket like some grease shit or something, and that was what you did. You went out to Wilson's suede leather, and a leather jacket back then was like $150, which today is like $600,
Or you got it for Christmas, I would assume.
Yeah, and I'm bougie. I grew up upper middle class, so it was like, so mom and dad would,
That would be like a good leather jackets are Christmas gifts usually.
Yeah, but you get them picked out, and they're like, "Here's your Christmas gift," but you weren't letting them like put it under the tree. You were going to start wearing it on the 10th of December or whenever.
With your bandana.
No, leather. That's different. That's when I was rocking it out. I'd have like a Van Halen T-shirt on, and it was a leopard skin. It was a regular bandana, regular fabric, but it would be like leopard skin patterned, or and then I'd wear that with my parachute pants, and I had a mullet. So I was like...
And what shoes?
Oh, I had, remember the, not the canvas, but kind of like the colorful Chucks. Remember they were like kind of shiny. I had black Nikes that looked like Chucks with a gold swoosh. I did, man. I
Now those are still popular.
I walked around if I walked around like that today... I wouldn't know if I walked around today with all that stuff on right now. I couldn't be categorized in school. It's just like they'd be like, "Man, you were in a time machine." Just kids don't wear that anymore.
If Judith says you were a greaser if you wore a leather jacket in my day, I learned that from the Lost Boys.
But the thing I was an athlete though. Like I was an athlete.
He was apparently able to get the girls quite easily.
I was an athlete, but I, hung around with the burnouts. So it was kind of like I could play my basketball game on Friday night, and then instead of go hang out with all the athletes, I went and go hang out with the, with the potheads, with the deadheads and stuff. So I kind of got along with everybody.
You were a hybrid.
I was a hybrid, yeah.
I just saw Karen's thing go through there, but it hasn't come across there.
It's
Where?
there.
No, she typed something longer. You were a jock.
I was a jock.
Is a stiff, structured...
It's right there. It's right there. It's wrong.
You're going to block her. Oh, no.
I didn't block her, did I?
No. Is a stiff or structured petticoat designed to hold out a woman's skirt popular at various times since the mid... Oh, okay. I know what that is. That's a cage. Okay, gotcha.
I know nothing about
She always goes to Google. She's a super mod. Foodie Beauty she's caving to her. Apparently she's thrown her diet in the trash again. We just saw the notification. It said,
well, if we go from 45 to 15, we know that everybody went to watch Foodie Beauty. But
she's wearing that hijab like a champ. She's even changed her profile picture to wear it.
But there are certain people in our chat that will go to but Foodie Beauty is not one of them. We don't have like a whole bunch of foodie beauty people in here.
No, I don't know anybody that. Most people just watch the clip channels to see what she did. They don't watch to see like whatever.
But does she do live still and put?
Supposedly she's trying to veer away from it.
So I've brought this up in my head a lot, and then I'm gonna share it here. Way back, like 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we were all pretty new here, I always did vlogs, right? And I never did a live stream on Tomahawk Show, and I did pretty well with my vlogs. And Sam used to say, nobody wants to see a vlog, they want to see live streams. And I was like, but, so that was kind of what we did in the DC is we did live streams. But if you notice the really big, viral YouTubers, they vlog and then they put the vlogs on. Like you don't see the Ace family doing live streams. You don't see, it really is about the vlog. So I was always pretty proud of the fact that I didn't do live streams. I did vlogs. And I never could understand.
I think live streaming didn't come onto YouTube until just before then.
And the thing was, and that was the argument I would have is they're like, it's like, well, I do vlogs. And they're like, but nobody wants to see a vlog. And I thought about it, and I was like, I bet they do. If you're really good, you'll stop doing your live streams, and you'll do like a pre-recorded show, like a podcast, and then put it on,
right,
or something like that.
No, Karen says TT mods suck. I told her she should have me help her with that nasty rogue mod she's got. I'm telling you.
Rogue mods are such a pain in the butt,
they're a pain in the ass. And let me tell you something. We feel for you. I have written YouTube. I pled with YouTube. I did every program. I rebooted every computer. I took them back to factory settings. I went to every troll. Yeah. Everyone
begged people
that you
to
know
stop messing with.
There's nothing like YouTube. They said there is, if you wrenched someone, if you gave someone a mod and they hide their channel, there is nothing you can do to get to delete it.
You got to you got to catch them. We managed to catch the person, I think.
Well, let's not challenge that.
Yeah, but the point is that
and they can hide your people while they're hidden.
Mandi looked at me and went, no, don't.
Don't challenge. They can hide your people while their channel is hidden. So there's nothing you can do until they lose the password. They get tired of doing it, or you make up with them and they don't do it anymore.
Or you start over with a new channel.
Yep. Sorry, that's it. Yep. And I feel for you. You know what? Maybe if you switch, I'm not gonna. Okay.
But we just want to let you know from the bottom of our.
You're in our thoughts, in our
the rogue mods. It's just.
You thought it was hilarious when it happened. I mean, you thought it was funny. But I don't think you're laughing anymore.
Moment of silence. Hold on. Bow your head.
For the dead 45,000
just
channel.
We'll give 5 seconds. Bow your head. Okay. That's it.
That's it. That's all we can offer.
Nasty bitch.
We can just... Nasty fucking bitch. God. Proven, once again, that you're nasty.
Yeah, I heard, like, you were telling me that it was awful, eventful last night, but it's just so thankful. So thankful.
He has to say, I'm thankful that I'm not married to the person that was showing every part of their body.
Yes. I mean, so the Moon Bear's husband, I got you, man. That sucks.
She's screwed. And I only say that when Katie had a rogue mod and it turned out, I'm not going to say who it was, but they knew. I'll just say it was Telfer. No, it was history. She traded all of the messages Katie and I shared as friends, gave them to Sam in order for her to give the password to the account she was using to rogue mod. So that's where when I asked general questions about the symptoms of a UTI, that's where that even came from. And then it got turned around, and I mean, y'all call me stank whatever all day long. He's not complaining.
No, is that why they were doing that?
That's how it started.
I thought, I thought I had
because I was saying
I had made a comment about it, and they were using my comment.
It was in messages where I had asked Katie, "Hey, look, what are the symptoms of a UTI and things like that?"
Just because you were getting laid a lot, I don't
probably.
Know yeah.
But it is. It's all about a bacteria. What you're used to, what you're not used to. I had been with the same man for 20-something years. I didn't sleep around, so you get new back. It has nothing to do with nastiness or anything like that. So for the password, it was traded for the messages, and that's how Katie got rid of hers. If she hadn't done that, she couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. But you live and learn. I mean, it's like you don't wrench people that you don't know. You don't have some new person come into your chat and after, 1 or 2 times you give them a wrench.
And the one that we wrenched was ATX is hot. Remember that?
Yup.
They came in saying, I hate so-and-so or whatever, and you're hot as whatever.
It was pretty good. It was a pretty good way that she did that. Gotta say.
And then it took forever. And you can't, I know. But that's why when they called me stinky, whatever, and all of that, I could give a shit less. Because, I mean, when it's not true, you don't worry about it.
That's right.
It's true.
I've always said that. When, people crawl into my DMs and go, such and such is saying this and saying that. And it's like, well, is it true? Well, no, of course not. Well, if you're a thief, right? If you're a thief and someone starts calling you a thief, it's going to bother you. But if you're not a thief and someone says you're a thief and you're not, it just doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother you. Not at all.
That's really kind of the way to look at it.
Yeah, it was all about, business is business. Katie was like, I can't have this happen with my channel. This is my bread and butter. And they were like, well, then you give me everything. And that's how that went down. Yeah. But that's why I was saying, like, if it's not true, if when we got ready to be intimate, Sean went and got his N95 mask
Yeah.
and said no offense, but like strapped it on. He's like, okay, let's get with it. Then I would know there was some truth.
Well, yeah. There might have been if if I'd have done that. If I showed up and was like, really, okay, can you light a candle or something? Then maybe there might have been a problem. I mean, for real, really.
Put your mask from the army. Your gas.
I know my gas mask.
You're like, we're just doing this for role playing, baby.
Yeah, I mean, can we role play? But we role play this every day. Hey, it's not old to me. I just want to keep doing this.
That's the shit we make each other laugh about.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any information anyone wants. LOL. She does. No, TT doesn't. TT doesn't have any information. That's why I'm saying you're not gonna get rid of it until they get tired of it. And I'm letting you know right now.
I know who. If she's got a rogue mod, she needs to get with them.
They're not gonna get tired of it.
And the rogue mod's gonna be like, look, I will give you the password back and all the nudes you sent me if you'll just stop.
If you'll just put your clothes on,
yeah.
Stop talking about your ex-husband, I'll give all of it back to you.
Whiplash said Sean is on one tonight. Am I?
Yes, because he's tired. When he gets tired like that.
When I get I get kind of tired, but then I drink down a Monster. You got about 40 minutes of just, I don't even remember what I'll say once we shut it off unless I go back and look at the replay. So. Yeah,
sometimes if we've been busy or whatever and it's been literally a week is a long time, and I'm only saying this not to be tacky or raunchy or anything like that.
A week since we do what?
You know what? I'm not going to say, don't.
Can you see her get red right here on the camera?
He's like, I'm going to give you the best 52 seconds of your life. And he's joking. It's longer than that.
It's normally 19 seconds. But
that's the stuff we make each other laugh about.
They don't call me the Minuteman for nothing.
Yeah. It certainly doesn't take me 20 minutes to get there. I'm just saying.
Guys, let's
it may be 20 minutes to start topping 2 and 3, and I'm not even lying. I'm not even fronting.
Especially when you're older. When somebody comes in, some 50-year-old dude walks up, we're hanging around work, he's like, yeah, I had sex I rocked that girl's world. I met this girl at the bar and we went home and we did it all night, all night. It's like all night. He's like, yeah, we probably did it for 6 hours. And I'm like, good Lord, why?
It should take 6 hours.
6 hours? Shit, man, you're not going to be worth a damn at work. I don't do anything for 6 fish, maybe.
Yeah, I don't understand that when people say that either.
Yeah. You have good chemistry and you might, you can get it done. You get it done. Yeah. Both parties. It's like it don't take no 6 hours.
Yeah, foreplay gets you almost that's why I'm saying it. And I don't. This is not for young ears or family members' ears. But it happens. At least the first one pops off pretty quick. For me in this situation. That's the stuff we're gonna start charging members to hear.
But the thing is when that's some 18-year-old high school stuff, or some 25-year-old frat boy college stuff. I did it all night, man. We did it for 8 hours straight, and it's like, what the fuck for,
the only time I've ever heard of that is when people are on meth. Yeah. And they end up doing it till they jack each other up, mess each other's insides. I've heard that for real.
Well, I have a friend who,
a limp noodle time. He did it for 6 hours.
Well, I had a friend, and this was college, right? And we did whatever. He hooked up with some girl, and he took her to bed and was gone. That was it. He was done for the night. Well, the next day, it was probably 9 o'clock in the morning. This guy comes down and he can barely walk. He is in pain down in his scrotum area, right? And we're like, we're just his friends, right? And he's like, he's in excruciating pain, man. He can barely walk. We're kind of concerned for him. So we take him to the emergency room. And, they...
This is real... I've never heard this. This is your story?
This really happened. It's really no reason that I would tell the story, but since we're talking about this, a kind of a memory. They went in there and, they looked at it and they took x-rays of it. They said his, I guess it's the vas deferens or whatever, wherever it comes out, it kind of crimped or kind of twisted.
Yeah, that happens. It tangles.
So his nut that he was building up was stuck.
Oh!
It was stuck. It couldn't come out. And he said he was going and going and going, and he thought something was wrong because he couldn't come. So it was all built up, and so by the next morning, it was like the worst, like blue balls times like 10. And so they basically went in there, and all they do is I don't even know if they
sports injuries can happen with that.
But I don't know if they had to make an incision or they just had to find it from the outside, and they just had to turn it. They just had to turn it and untwist it. And I guess there was a friend in there, or either he was telling the story. He said they twisted it, and with it flaccid, it just it went everywhere. And that was a true story.
You never told me that.
No, it just never would come up. It was never something that I
At
remembered. And
the end of the day, says but how it initially gets twisted a lot of times is a sports injury.
I mean, he wasn't like on the football team or anything, but I don't know. But anyway, that's a true story. And so that was one instance where, someone said I did it and did it and did it and just kept trying to do it, and she was embarrassed because she thought there was something wrong with her, and there was nothing wrong with her, and then by 6 o'clock in the morning it started to hurt, and by like 9 o'clock he couldn't walk hardly. And
I mean, I feel for it. So at the end of the day, said I want to get it done and get to what really turns me on, sleep. And it says at 54, I would never be interested in doing it 6 damn hours. It's nip tuck that poor chair. Oh, that's the chair she pretended. No. And then the very, very last one, and then we can yeah, definitely.
Thanks for the visual, Sean.
Yes, preferably during a commercial break. See, that's funny.
And the thing is,
that's the difference between love and lust. Do they turn the video game off or do they pause it?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the difference.
I mean, but like when we first got together, we did it a lot, but it wasn't like 6 hours straight. I mean, I do understand in our case, it was, we're finally together and this and that, doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. But it
someone's going to clip that, doing it and doing it and doing it.
Well, there was an LL Cool J song like that.
Oh.
But it wasn't, anything I'd go brag about either.
Hey, at the end of the day,
you know what I'm saying? It's not anything I would go, I met this chick, ATX, and I did it all night. It was.
Yeah. No, but that's why I said the last time, like, not kissing and telling, but I know what kind of lover he is. Like, so I get why you now are unable to find someone that compares. And that's not me.
Cool J, yeah.
That's not me trying to stick it to you. That's the honest to God truth. When you said in that one little clip that he was the most attentive lover you ever had, you ain't lying. And he's all mine now. He's going to be sleeping in that bed
and the thing is
with
that,
me afterwards.
Yes. Let's see, what time is it? So it's just like, if it's 9:40, I can be asleep by 9:50.
So thank you much. He is very attentive.
And another thing that's very, very important is to be into each other. I mean, I guess there's the drunk thing and whatever, and standards go down or inhibitions go away.
But you don't like drunk girls.
No, never did.
He doesn't like
never
with drunk girls.
I never, and that was from college. Is I never wanted to do something with somebody that the next day they would go, well, if I hadn't been drunk, I probably wouldn't have done that. That was demoralizing to me.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be in that position.
Even if you were drunk, you didn't want to do it drunk.
When I was drunk, I wasn't one of those, I didn't get like horny or whatever, it's no.
You said acid and stuff, you don't get.
No. No, weed, but
you just want to watch.
But I just, when you ever hear, you get with somebody, you want to enjoy it, whether it's
doing it well. I do remember that.
But you just hate to hear, well, it's like, hey, about the other night, I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't drinking. That sucks. So I just never wanted to be in that position. I
that makes sense.
Myself in a position.
That makes total sense. Whiplash said, "Thanks for the visual, Sean."
I know.
And
I'm on one tonight.
Like those blow up things at car dealerships. Oh, that
whip back.
That go back.
Forth
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, he did literally say never came up. But I'm more thinking. I think the last part were when they fixed it and went. I don't think that's true.
I don't know. That's what they said. They said when they undid it, it kind of.
So supposedly his friend was in there with him and saw it.
What it was is they said when they undid it, it kind of did like peeing. It kind of went, and it went everywhere. Not like all over the wall.
Even the sound. No, I know not. But
I don't know what the sound was like. It would,
that sounds like the urban legend part of the story, but I don't know. I guess it does have to go somewhere because
it has to
built
come
up.
out. Yeah, it came through the passage and came out. It just didn't have like a Woody when it happened.
And the doctor's like, whoa.
I think it was pretty normal. I think that they knew what was happening. I think they looked at it and said, we know what this is.
And they said, everybody stand back. Get your splash guard on.
Yeah. Everybody, okay, I need everybody to clear the room. You're allowed to have one witness so they could tell the story 30 years
That's
later.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
like, did he say, come hold my hand? It hurts. I mean, I would think a parent would be in there, and hopefully a parent would go,
but you know how
y'all listen to what happened to little Johnny.
Well, frat boys, they're always, Hank, hold my hand, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Not during that.
I mean, girls go to the bathroom together.
No, but not when they're like, their stuff is messed up.
Well, he went to the emergency room. I know that. And that was what had happened to him.
Yeah,
His
that
shit
makes
got
sense.
twisted.
There she blows. That's what I was saying. It says, like getting the kink out of a hose.
Yeah.
Then the life has a hose. Oh, you know what? Now that I can that puts it.
It was like that's what made it hurt. Is it was smashing up against the one side. You know, like that. So when they uncrimped it, it just made its way out.
Yeah. Now that makes more sense.
And the body's like normal reaction is to like convulse to do it, like, you know.
I don't have.
Is that gross?
If this person is trying to dox someone that you know or I know, I don't have any idea who that is. But the 10 minutes of I would maybe sum up last night with the beast or something.
I'm extremely upset of what I saw for those 10 minutes. You
don't know anybody. It looks like they're trying to dox someone we know, but I don't know that person.
Oh, I don't know. Did they say anything else in here?
No, they're a new person. Like letting the air out of a balloon. Kind of, but more so like, I would say like when you, like if you have one of those long water balloons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you had it kinked, yeah, I guess he's lucky it didn't rupture.
I think she's just like being funny. Like,
no, I know.
Extremely, yeah.
Like,
she's okay.
But could it rupture?
What, like
if it's kinked, they fixed it, thank God, and it did that. But
maybe. I mean, I don't. I mean, the body's reaction. It was very painful to the guy. So it was like it wasn't something that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like the body, it wasn't natural. It needed to be fixed.
Very rarely have I not heard a story that Sean tells, and I never heard that one.
Never came up. It wasn't anything.
I just know that's another reason why you wear cups in sports. Because
but this guy wasn't. This guy was just like some college kid. He wasn't like an athlete or anything.
He must have been beating it too hard.
Maybe.
I love our people.
I think Amanda's okay. I think she was like, I'm extremely upset of what I saw for those 10 minutes. I don't, she's good.
Do you remember the other day when Rebel T accidentally typed in our chat instead of hers and had to retract it?
Oh, yeah.
I never even saw what they said, but I think they meant to type. That still makes me chuckle. Have you ever been like lurking in someone's chat, like someone that you're not like whatever, and you go to text someone a message, but you do it in their chat? Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Like you're talking shit about somebody through text, but you're watching someone's live stream, and that's usually who you're talking shit about, and you go straight into their chat and type it.
Remember when I was at my daughter's house and I was talking about Kimbrough, and I texted her, and then I was like, oh my God. Mm. And
I really like you guys. I was on for Sean's birthday. Very cool.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
Amanda.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, it was just
we
were trying to just figure out how that fit in, but it's no big deal. It's good.
No, it's good. What I was thinking was that because you knew someone named that in college, so I was thinking that they were taking the opportunity to say, yeah, that 10 minutes was traumatizing about your friend's injury. But now we got it. You're good to go.
That's why sometimes
I'm an overthinker.
Amanda Anderson, you are welcome to be here.
Watching it live and my boss to text. Yes, meshed him. Let me tell you what I did one time. I was texting with someone at work talking shit about my boss. It was Chrissy. And I'm texting with the person and saying, and because she had gone on vacation and she went to Vail, Colorado, and I said and came back and I'm like, they must have, because Vail's expensive. Mm-hmm. And they went there, drove all the way there, like whatever. Anyway, I was talking shit about it. I sent it to my boss by mistake, and I went in there and I wanted to, it worked. I wanted to say, can I see your picture? Like, pull up a picture of your husband real quick. And, or not your husband, but your kid or whatever. And I was like, can I look at it? And I was like, can I flip, or is it too? She goes, no, you can flip. Oh, the vacation.
And then you went into the text thing?
Mm-hmm. I said, let me see can I see a picture of your vacation? She was like, yeah. And I saw she had a bunch of unread texts from different people. So I was like, can I flip or no? And she goes, yeah, you can flip. So I was like, and I went back to the main screen, opened mine, deleted the thing and I got by with it. Can you imagine?
But
that
for a second, it was.
I did it because the girl I was texting was like a few desks over, and I was like, and I got up. It was pretty funny.
So I think Amanda was like, I wanted to report her. I think she was talking about what she saw in the stream.
It was
for
probably pretty traumatizing if you haven't used to her bullshit. Yeah, Karen, and it worked. It worked. She didn't see it, and there was no two ways about it. It was like, like Bougie Chrissy trying to whatever front, like she's got it like that. There was no way that I was going to be able to pull it off because it went to her.
Well, you texted the lawn guy.
Oh my gosh, I did text. I think we told them.
Yeah.
I was texting with Karen, going, yeah, that's stupid, effing it. And it was like 12:30 in the morning, and I sent it to the lawn man. And he writes back, huh? I mean, the guy's about 21 years old. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then nothing else, but the next day he did laughing faces all the way. He never mentioned it when he came.
But, he's like, oh my God, I just texted it. Yeah.
And Sean was like, he's going to think you want him. I was like, no, Sean.
I said, we're about to find out when he comes to do our lawn.
The kid's he's terrified. When he shows up, he's like.
Well, you like older kids anyway.
Kid.
If he was a 70-year-old lawn guy, I'd have been worried. But
all the people talking in the chat were they were all fighting, right?
Yeah.
Mouthing Mandi, and someone named Paula, like real bad. Yeah, that's what they do. That's the best pastime. I'm the go-to. So is Sean.
I'm really digging this guy behind us. I think it's going to be good for the rest of the month to have it up there. I do too.
The argument of why are you not taking care of your husband if you're posting it takes about 20 seconds to do a post, and I got 23 hours and 40 seconds other than that to hang out with my husband and do whatever. Don't worry about my time. My time's good.
I got to be to work at 7.
I've got time management.
I got to be to work at 7 and it's 10. So that's 9 hours from now. So I can get 8 hours and 48 minutes worth of sleep, and we can do our thing for 12 minutes and it's all good.
12 and a half minutes.
Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, I don't know. I'll think bad thoughts.
Yeah. But I was just going to say that. I was like, it takes me no time. I can't speak for Paula, but you could probably make 5 posts and let's say it takes you 3 minutes to formulate what you want to say and put it up there. That is 15 minutes out of a 24-hour day.
Yeah, Amanda, from what I understand, it was pretty, it was against the terms of service. You still going, it's like, from what I understand, it was.
And it was pretty. It's downloaded. Yeah. I think Paul's going to review it on Monday. So,
Karen says, Mandi, it amazes me how quickly you can draw up a good dragging. Hey, that's.
I spend most of the time trying to hold back, like, you know what I mean, because I don't want to be like exactly what they say. It's like, oh, you're just. But yeah, I got a million one-liners. The skeleton does need a name.
Yeah, let's come up with
green.
A name.
He's actually a green skeleton. We could name him Maria Demo.
We could name him Mr. Green Jeans.
Mr. Green Jeans.
You know
we could name him Gangrene.
He was in. He was like in Mr. Wasn't Green Jeans? Wasn't he in Mr. Robbins' Neighborhood or whatever? What was it? Mr. Robinson. What's it?
Gangrene.
Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Isn't what Mr. Green Jeans, wasn't he?
My throat's dry. Amanda, I can't even imagine. I'm just thankful my teenager didn't see that. And that is the altogether problem because there was actually nipple showed, and without it being age restricted, not only is it against the terms of service, it's against the law. So if you have explicit stuff like that and it's not restricted in any way, and someone underage sees it and it can be proven that they saw it,
Captain Kangaroo, yeah, that's right.
that's you want to name
Green
it.
Jeans. Well, Let It Go seems to think it's gold.
That's a good one.
We'll know it. He looks gold from.
Okay. Either way,
we'll
we
have
can
something.
whatever you want.
We can we'll have something. You guys give us some suggestions too. By Halloween, by the time we put him up, he'll have a name for next year.
He'll have a good name. Yeah, this is like spider web lights. I actually have 2 sets of them.
Yeah, and you can see where the spider web goes.
Yeah, we could put another one. Anyway, we'll see. Mr. Green Jeans is cute. No, Levi, I don't think she was. I think she was in the she was in definitely a manic episode, but I don't think she was drunk. What did this mean?
Oh, so she said that the mods were keep iterating that this is an adult material. It's adult. It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
Yeah.
Not
Skeletor.
At all. Ooh, Skeletor. Well, but you just never know. You never know.
Look, he can move. He can even when he wants to get my attention, he can go, "Hey, dude. Hey."
That's a good one.
Hey, dude.
I like Mr. Green Dude.
Mr. Green Jeans?
Mr. Green Jeans.
Or Green Dude. See, look.
He's comforting you.
He's like, yes. How you
He's
doing?
like, listen, y'all. All right,
like,
you want to call it a night?
These are my homies. Yeah, let's call it a night.
Okie dokie. We
we've
took off
cut
yesterday.
our time together out, till we can still 8 minutes. We can still get it in.
We probably will be back tomorrow because we weren't here yesterday.
Yeah.
And
coming up round 2 this week, Thursday and Friday of this week coming up is the colonoscopy take 2. So I'll be fasting on Thursday and doing the procedure on Friday. Yeah.
And he'll be taking the correct Sawyer tabs.
I'll be taking the Sutab, so I'll probably, if we stream on Thursday, I'll be real ornery and probably just jumping back and forth.
But after he's sedated and we come home, I'll stick him on a live stream.
Y'all want to see me like?
I haven't seen him. I've never seen him drunk or high or anything like that. So I've never seen you altered. You know what I mean?
Did you? You haven't?
No.
Whiplash said when my sister was
Thank
5,
you.
she told everyone she wanted to be a boner for Halloween. She meant a skeleton, but she said boner. I want to be a boner. It's like, we got to go talk to the teacher.
My son was born in the year 2000, so for Halloween, he was the Y2K bug. And I thought it was an adorable costume. It didn't win anything.
Yeah. We always think our kids are a little bit cooler than everybody else.
But I mean, 2000, the Y2K bug.
It's really deep thinking for him too. So that's cool.
He didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, y'all. Thanks for coming.
Cool at the end of the day. It was a good year for good kids. See you later, 98.
Bye, guys.
Oh, my daughter's born in 98. Funny. So
I went to OCS
same
in
years,
98.
different children. We still have. Okay, have a good night.